Howdy y'all, I hope you guys are all doing well, I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are healthy. My name is Josh, and I love clothes and everything that goes into it. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a short story of my biggest regret in the realm of clothing and fashion. And then it kind of leads into an open discussion about the resale prices of sneakers today and how I think they're way too high. So just to kind of briefly explain the story, so just to kind of set the time, it was about 2014-ish. One of my first jobs was I worked at a sneaker store, a sneaker retailer that's pretty well known. I won't divulge the name of the sneaker retailer, but I will say that I was able to, one of the biggest things that kind of kept me staying there. I stayed at this sneaker retailer for 3 years, although I was paid very little, minimum wage. One of the biggest benefits for me personally at the time was that sometimes I would be able to get certain sneakers kind of guaranteed pairs on release date, as well as sometimes use my employee discount on them. And my employee discount was 30% at the time, which in my eyes was really good. And so the sneaker that I was able to get in 2015, I think early 2015, February if I'm not mistaken, I was able to get the Chicago 1 and use my employee discount. At the time, I believe the retail price for the Chicago 1 was $160. With the employee discount, I think it came out to maybe like $120 or something like that. And that is probably my biggest benefit from that job in general. So I was so excited to get this pair of Chicago 1s. I love the shoe, and to this day I wouldn't mind having a pair, but not for the prices that it's going for now. Low-key, I'm pretty idiotic because, I mean, around that time, immediately after they released to about maybe a year, maybe 2 years after they released, resale price was I think like $450 to $700, which today, in today's market, that'd be an amazing price. But back then, that was a lot. And so what I had done, and I kick myself every day for this, I think I'm so foolish for it, but I traded that Chicago 1 for 2 sneakers. I don't quite remember exactly what 2 sneakers it was. I think I ended up trading it for a pair of white cement 4s and Flyknit racers because they were brand new at the time and I really wanted them. But the biggest thing is that those 2 shoes, the price of those 2 shoes today do not amount anywhere near what the Chicago 1 is worth today. I think it's super unfortunate that I did that. Honestly, I would still love to have a pair of Chicago 1s in my wardrobe right now, but what are you gonna do? You win some, you lose some, right? So looking on StockX right now, as I'm recording this video, the resale price for a pair of Chicago 1s from 2015 is actually around the ballpark of $2,000, which is absolutely insane for a mass-produced product. Now, I'm not gonna tell you if it is worth it or not worth it for you to spend that money, but this was a general release, essentially. Although the shoe was very sought after, it didn't reach upwards of $1,000, and I can't fathom that. I can't, at least today. I know I've kind of really steered away from sneakers, but I've definitely steered away from spending multiple thousands on certain sneakers just because I don't think it's worth it. It's really just a mass-produced product that they come up with a different version every couple of months essentially, and so for me it isn't personally worth it, and I'd rather spend my money on higher end, higher quality things. If I were to spend $2,000 on sneakers as opposed to $2,000 on a pair of really nice boots, completely 2 different worlds. I'd rather go with the boots personally. Now there is the argument to be had that if you purchase that $2,000 sneaker, there is a potential for it to go up in price or to stay that price and potentially make you some money or get your money back even if you've worn it. However, there is no telling whether the value of that item will go up or down. So sneakers essentially, in a oversimplified way, is kind of like owning a piece of stock. You don't know if this will inflate or deflate in price, and so personally I don't want to invest $2,000 in something that indefinitely depreciates in value because the amount of times you wear it will make the value of that item go down, and is made of materials that might not necessarily warrant that extremely high price tag. See, the market for sneakers most of the time is really regulated by what people are willing to pay. So is that value actually there, or is it something that people have kind of, it's supply and demand? But I'm kind of getting off topic here. Bottom line is I spent $120 on a pair of Chicago 1's, and I let them go for way less than that, maybe probably a year after I've owned them. I'm not sure if I remember all that well, but I let them go for shoes that aren't worth nearly as much today. I'm not 100% sure if I remember exactly what I traded it for, but I think I traded it for a pair of white cement 4's and Flyknit racers, like Oreo Flyknit racers, if you guys remember that one. Those two sneakers, the white cement 4 and the Flyknit racer, those two do not add up to the value of what a Chicago 1 is worth today. So big regret there. Now the sneaker, sneaker resale market is always an extremely volatile thing, and by volatile I mean it goes up and down so very often, and really hype is what dictates the price of most aftermarket sneakers. But what I wanted to draw attention to is how much it has inflated. It is kind of insane to me. So I see younger people, I mean maybe in high school or in early college, buying sneakers that are worth maybe multiple thousands of dollars, and that's kind of the norm. Like looking at a pair of off-white sneakers, any collaboration sneaker when I first started getting into sneakers was maybe a couple $100s. It very rarely ever got above $1,000. I think maybe the Yeezy 1's and Yeezy 2's got over $1,000, but it was very, like buying a shoe for $500, $600, that was like maybe Grail level shoe already. Whereas nowadays, that's kind of the norm, even for a general release pair of sneakers, which is weird to me. So that's a lot of money to spend, and I can't really wrap my head around it, especially, like, I'm just trying to put myself in the context of me when I was into sneakers, would I be paying today's prices? Honestly, I don't think I would, because that is just so much time and effort put into like work. And when I worked, you know, back in 2015, I was making $8.25 an hour. That's a lot of time and investment to be putting into just a pair of sneakers. I'm very curious to see what you guys think of the whole situation, because sneakers are kind of crazy expensive nowadays. Like collaborations and artist collaborations or brand collaborations come out every so often nowadays. I mean, it seems like one comes out every couple of months now, and so collaborations don't seem as special, at least in my eyes. I always just see a collaboration as a special color of a shoe that we already are very familiar with, that commands multiple hundreds of dollars over what the general release pair is for. So that is kind of a big reason why I stopped loving sneakers, is because there's a lot of redundancy. There's a lot of, there's inventiveness, inherent inventiveness in sneakers all the time. There are new sneakers that come out that are great. There are new interesting collaborations and models and everything like that. But for the most part, the general sneaker community is just not really something that I like very much at all. And another thing that really made me fall out of love with sneakers is how many can I own? Like, of course, yes, I have a lot of like black boots and derbies and stuff that I have now, but they all have like kind of different shapes. I'm not trying to justify what I have now, but I just found myself buying the same shoe in different colors over and over and over again. And at one point I had far too many, and I had to dress around my shoe. My shoe was dictating what I wore because I had to color coordinate, or I had to coordinate whatever. And so I was like, you know what, if I just, as I got older, if I move into a more standard shoe, which boots, derbies, things like that, and kind of keep colors uniform, it was a lot easier for me to dress. So I want to call it a maturing of taste, but I'm not sure if I can call it that, but I feel as if my style is maturing in that way. To the point where in my collection, I barely have any sneakers, to be honest with you. The sneakers that I own are more performance-based than they are kind of history or hype-based, I guess you could say. But all in all, my big question to you guys is, Are these prices for these shoes nowadays justified? Let me go ahead and pull up some of like the most hyped shoes that I can think of at the moment and see what their resale price is. So as I had mentioned earlier, the 2015 pair of Jordan 1 Chicago's are right around $2,000 market price. I think that's way too much. Next up is the one that I thought about is the Nike Air Force 1 Low Travis Scott, the sales with the removable swoosh. Although a very cool like gimmick, the last sale was $1,000, just about $1,000 for a pair of Air Force 1s. And for a pair of canvas Air Force 1s that get dirty super easily, so the depreciation goes down even faster. $1,000 for that, I can't see it justified. Not from Nike. And then here's the Travis Scott Dunk Low, the Paisley Dunk. Although I think it looks kind of cool, I really like it. The last sale was $2,542 for a dunk, just because it has a rapper's name attached to it. I can't imagine spending like back when I was in college and like late high school when I was into sneakers, I can't imagine spending $2,500 on a pair of shoes. And then lastly, probably the most crazy price hike is going to be the Off-White Chicago's. The Off-White Jordan 1 Chicago, the last sale was $5,500. I know I spend a lot of money on clothing, and maybe it's not justified to anyone else but me, but $5,500 for a pair of sneakers, no matter how specialty they are, something that you're going to wear and eventually wear down, that's on a whole new level. That's something that I just, honest to God, can't comprehend. But what do you guys think? Are resale prices for sneakers out of hand? If I'm wrong, feel free to justify it to me in the comments below. If I'm just a sneaker hater, just, you know, let's have a conversation. Put it in the comments down below. DM it to me. I would love to pick your guys' brains about this particular topic. But yeah, if you guys like this type of video, feel free to let me know as well. I really enjoy doing these videos because it requires a little bit more mind power than just presenting information. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I appreciate y'all. Later.